The German Reichsrevolver, or Commission Revolver, had two models. You had the 1879 and the 1883. Now we look at this gun as antiquated now, but you have to realize that German forces used it right up until they adopted the Luger.
German Reichsrevolver is an interesting gun. It's also has kind of a nickname called the Commission Revolver, because why? It wasn't devised by just one person. It was put together by a committee. And like any gun put together by a committee, it looks like a camel, which is said to be put together by a committee.
It's over-engineered. And I don't mean that in a mean way or stereotypical way. It's just, it's a center-fire, single-action revolver, 10.5 millimeter cartridge, like a 44-40. But it's a solid piece of work. I mean, it's the most solid revolver I think I've ever held.
You know, there were better mousetraps already extant, but I think the Germans were very interested in reliability over everything. Interestingly, early on, they didn't even have an extractor, let alone an ejector.
It had a couple of really unique, notable features. People tend to notice on the left side of the frame, it's got this big, long lever. It's actually a safety lever. It's a manual safety on a revolver, which, you know, that's the running joke is, you know, you think revolvers don't have safeties. Well, this one had a safety. The Commission Revolver, or what we know of today as the Reichsrevolver. It's a weird amalgamation of a few different things going on. So the inside of the gun is basically Smith & Wesson Model 3 lockwork. One of the most distinctive features of the Reichsrevolver is it's got this really weird elongated grip. And there's a reason for that. See, the German military establishment is filled with highly conservative officers, particularly cavalry officers. And they're used to the long, elongated, slender stocks on single-shot percussion cavalry pistols.
The 1879, it had a 7-inch barrel. It was kind of interesting looking, kind of a cannon-like barrel. It actually had a kind of looked like a cannon muzzle on the end of it. Then it was superseded, or at least not necessarily replaced by, but supplemented by a later model, the 1883, which had a 5-inch barrel. The first gun was nicknamed kind of the cavalry model, and the second model was considered the officer's version, although the cavalry didn't specifically use the longer-barreled one, nor did officers specifically use the short-barreled one. But it's an easy way for modern collectors to kind of keep them separate.
It was used all the way through the First World War with German colonial troops in Africa and other places as the Luger and other guns replaced it in the standard issue lineup. It was relegated to further and further down the food chain in the colonies. The crazy thing about that gun today is it's worth a lot of money. You can't find cheap ones at gun shows, especially with an original holster. Quite the collector's item.